It's recording?
Yeah.
Bitch! October! It's a nightmare, feeling like Jack. I'm a king, you're a poser. Fuck out the way. If you see me, move over. If you can't hear me, little bitch, move closer. Yeah, and you can't see me, I'm a ghost. Like the smoke in my throat, can feel my face, I'm about to choke. I've been on the road, fuck the pressure, I won't fall. I've been chilling with gas, bro, winter hill and it's cold. I don't listen for shit, I don't never do what I'm told. That's why these labels are tight. I'm out of breath. So basically, I was like 15 and I was really into anime. I'm not really that much into anime anymore, but at the time I was like heavy. So I like watched the entire first season of Bleach in like 4 days. I was like binge watching it. Like I would like watch it in school. So, and I was watching it with Japanese subtitles. I had seen it like a couple times. Like what drew me to it is I used to like see it like on Toonami, and I never knew the story of it, or I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but it always just like looked really cool to me. So I was like, I'm gonna like actually like watch it from the beginning. And in the show, the like main characters, like they're Shinigami, so like that's the god of death. And in the English version, in the dub version, they say Soul Reaper, which is like kind of corny. Apparently they didn't want to like offend Western audiences because it's like death god is very abrasive. But I just thought that sounded cool. And then before I actually changed my name, I looked up what like a Shinigami actually was, like what the meaning behind it was. And basically in like ancient Japan, it was believed that Shinigami were spirits that cause people to be depressed or have anxiety, or like they like push people like to death. Or the alternate belief with Shinigami is that they like guide you through the afterlife. So it's like I kind of like that. I thought it was just cool how there was almost like a, I don't know, the meaning behind it just I felt like applied to me in like a really weird way. Like I saw that and I was like, this has to be my name now. And I was like really surprised that like it wasn't taken. I'm sure somebody like, there's like some random person or band out there like called Shinigami and they're probably tight, but I don't really care. I grew up in Rochelle Park, New Jersey, which is like, it's like not even a square mile. It's like really small. I think I graduated with like less than 100 kids, and it was yeah, I fucking hated school. Like I was like really extra when I was a kid because I felt like I was looking at the people around me. I was like looking at my peers, and I just realized that like other than the fact that I like went to school with them and whatever, like I had almost nothing in common with these people. Like I just didn't have the same interests. I didn't want to be like that. So like from the beginning I was just like super like my uncles and my cousin were like some of my biggest inspirations when I was younger, because I wanted to be like them because like they were like teenagers when I was a kid. So my uncles were the ones that put me on to like metal and like heavier music and like punk, and then my cousin is the one that got me into like anime and shit like that. So like those were the things that I was into as a kid, and like from like a super early age, like 2nd grade, I was like drawing upside down crosses on my fucking like homework and shit, and like just like doing dumb shit. Like I just thought like I wanted to be like I just wanted to be like edgy, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and that just obviously didn't translate well with people. And I didn't really get along with a lot of people. I played sports a little bit, and I was never really good. I was kind of good at soccer and baseball, but like I always just felt like that wasn't for me. It didn't really fulfill me in a way that I wanted to. And for a while, like I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But yeah. Honestly, it put me onto a lot of bands that like I fuck with now. So like that's something that I'm super grateful for. I just thought like, to me, the reason I fuck with Guitar Hero is just because it was a game to me that was like more based on skill than like any other game. In my opinion at the time, it's just like you had to have like good reflexes and hand-eye coordination. It's like different than like playing like Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? Even though I do love Call of Duty, but it was just like I remember the first time playing it, I was so bad, and like I played it was Guitar Hero 3. I played Slow Ride for like 8 hours straight until I beat it. And when I beat it, I felt like I accomplished so much. I was just like, fuck yeah, like, oh my god. And then like after that, it was just like, that was it. Like, and then I played it on medium, and then I was like kept going on, and I bought like every single game that came out up until like Warriors of Rock. I think I had like the Aerosmith, I had Metallica, all that shit, and then I got Rock Band. I have a fucking Rock Band too, but just those like rhythm games in general were like very influential and just putting me on to a lot of the music that I listen to now. I hate it because number one, I use the term emo because it's the easiest thing for people to digest that don't understand this genre of music.
Plebs.
Plebs, NPCs, if you will.
Presumably.
I know, like, I listen to, there's subgenres of the music I listen to, like post-hardcore, pop punk, all that shit, but everybody now, all these like plebeians just are like, this is emo music, this is Warped Tour music. So I talk about it in that way because I know that is the most accessible way of me speaking about it. However, the term, I would never call a genre of music emo, actually, because I think it's not, to me, it's not like a genre. Like, I don't like that. And I think that emo rap is a disgusting combination of words that should never have been conceived. And I don't know whose idea it was, but it's really stupid. I know that that's what it sounds like to people, and like I can't do anything about it. But in my opinion, the more suitable term for the music that is being made right now that I make is like alternative rap. That's like the less cringy version. I never made a project beforehand, ever. So the way that I made that album, it's like, I was like, I'm not doing any collabs for the next like 3 or 4 months. I was like, but at that time I didn't even get on other people's beats anyway. So I was like, I'm not doing any collabs, I'm not doing any features, not doing anything. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna make these songs, I'm gonna finish them. That's it. So the first thing that I did, it's really interesting to look back on how I did it because it's so different than how I do things now. But I actually started off by, I spent a few days only making melodies. So like I made like the melody for Fallen Angel, and then for Light Bright, and then I did Luna, and then I did All That I Know, and I just kept going. So like I solely worked on the melodies, and then I spent like another week like finishing up the beats, and then once I had all the instrumentals and shit done, I started like writing, and that took a little bit longer because I was just super it was just a hard thing to like try to pump out music really frequently, but I think it was good because now I could like shit out music really quickly. So like it forced me to like get conditioned to like making music like every day, trying to write a song every day, because I had like a list. Like I wrote each song like on a piece of paper, and I would write like, finish the mix, finish the beat, do this, write the song, you know what I'm saying? And like I would like, every time I would cross off a song, it was like a dopamine release. It was just like, cause I was like, fuck yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then I remember the last song that I made for the album was Good For Nothing, and when I crossed that off, I was just like, and I saw everything crossed off on that list, I was like, it's lit. Like I was so hyped. I was like, I fucking just like, it was like a whirlwind of emotions. But yeah, it was like a really, like I like had like I almost set myself up with like a schedule to make it, which I'm not. If you guys know, I'm not a like schedule person. I'm not a wake up at this time, do this. I don't do that. I have a terrible schedule, like as far as my life goes. So the fact that I was able to do that, especially because I was in school, I was a senior in high school. I was 17, so balancing school and doing that at the same time, you know, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but I got it. My favorite songs, The World That Never Was, Angel Boy, and honestly, those are like my 2 favorite. Oh, The King at 18. How could I forget? No, The King at 18 is definitely my favorite because that was the first song that I made with FM, and FM is, I'm especially right now at the point that I'm at, like I don't do a lot of collabs. Because to me, I used to like be with like the whole like, yo, send me open, do this, do that, and like nowadays like I get more on like people's beats than like vocal collabs, but that was something that it's like when he sent that back to me, it was like, I don't know, like it just felt really good. And then after that, like I love that song so much, and he was like, FM lives in Long Island, I live in Jersey, So I was just like, bro, like I want to come to your crib, like we can make shit. And like, Key is the only person that I've ever met that can match my energy with music, like as fast. Like he makes shit just as fast, maybe faster than I do. And to me, like that's such a like exhilarating thing because I just love making music. Like to me, it's like a very personal thing. So like if I make music with you, it's like that means a lot to me. So I don't share that with a lot of people, and he's somebody that like to this day, like I have the most collabs with FM, and they're unreleased, like they're not even out. Like so, like that was just the beginning of a beautiful friendship and music relationship, if that makes sense. I think just the speed at which I was making songs. I was just making songs so much faster. Like it's like I was making like multiple songs a day. And that was just like, it's like every time I made a project, it was like faster and faster and faster. And it's like, that one was so fast. Like I made that album in like a month probably. Like I had like some songs where I had a verse, like from a place where I belong, like I had that done for a minute, like probably like 2 or 3 months before I actually decided to work on a project. And then like I just had like an open and I like sent it to FM and FM made it, and that was that. So the biggest improvement was just the speed and like the I feel like it was a really different stylistically because every single song was like auto-tune, like, and that was like the first time I ever really did that. So yeah. That was like probably one of the best days of my life because I literally have their lyrics tattooed on my arm, and they're my favorite band of all time. So the fact that because Danny, like I've been talking to him for a while before then, but the fact that like he actually genuinely fucked with my music meant a lot to me, and I literally like I had that day before I was just like in my head like thinking like, oh, like, what if they asked me to perform it, like not thinking that it would actually happen or it had any potential of being a real thing, and then when it just happened, I just felt prepared. Because I'd thought about it so much. Like I'm a very like I have like, a lot of like racing thoughts, so I think about things very like deeply and intensely. So it's like I thought about it, and like I was just like I'm gonna kill it. Like I'm ready for this. Like I wasn't even scared at all. Like that's the weird thing. It's like a lot of people would expect that like it being my favorite band that I would be like terrified, but I never had been more ready for a show in my life. Like I'm more scared at my shows than I was performing to all those fucking people, and they didn't even know who I was for the most part. But that was just something that like, I don't know, it was definitely one of the best days of my life, and something that like I will cherish forever. My long-term goal is to, like, one of my biggest inspirations just at like from a life standpoint and a career standpoint is Prince. Like, I'm not even really heavy into his music at all. I just look at the way he moved, and I want to move that way. It's like, I want to get to a point where, like, I have so much unreleased music. I want to be, like, scoring movies, scoring video games, working with all types of different artists, just making music all the time, and in a secluded area. I want to have my own house with my own studio, like a real studio, with all the instruments that I need, with all the consoles that I want, all the games that I want to gain inspiration. I want it to be like, cause I'm like really interested in just like him as a person, cause Prince was a very private individual, and it's like after he passed, like there was just like people were talking about how like he like rarely left his house, and like he made it so like I'm pretty sure he had like restaurants and shit and like tailors like in his house, so if he wanted new clothes he would go and like get them made in his house. Like it was like a whole complex. I forgot the name of it. Paisley Park. Paisley Park. And it's like everything that he needed was within this fucking facility, and that's like what my goal is. Just, like, to the point where like I don't have to like leave the crib. Like I can just like stay inside, make music, get food, and just kind of chill. If I have, you know, like a wife one day, I don't know how things are gonna work, but if I have a wife, and just be able to like have my friends come over and have them stay for like a fucking month and just make mad music. Like that's my end goal. Just be able to kind of check off all of my own personal goals along the way, like like scoring for video games, doing shit for TV and movies, working with certain artists, and then just kind of chilling, sitting back, and having a excessive catalog of music that I'll only have, and that'll never be released until I like die.
Swag.
You already know.